Good evening. Welcome to Rock Academy's Masterclass concert series. This is volume 10, and I'm thrilled to say that we've done 10 of these. That's super exciting. But I'm also thrilled about tonight's because this is, it's a first of its kind, as this program has been. But tonight we have one of our Rock Academy members, not one of our students, and his name is Adam Macera. Adam, welcome to our Thursday night jam. I'm going to go ahead and let you unmute yourself and say hello to everybody.
Thank you. Thanks, Tim.
So what are we in for tonight? What's a good setup for your music?
Well, we will probably be going into, I think, 6 or 7, or maybe 4 or 5 of my songs I've been writing over quarantine. If you're watching this on YouTube or Zoom, I would recommend that you wear headphones or something of that sort, I guess. And yeah, we're just gonna kind of go through it and see which ones we're into and what we think about them, I guess.
Great. So you're saying this is all new music that you've written in the last 8 weeks, 6 weeks, whatever.
Yeah. This is all been quarantine stuff. I wrote four of them yesterday.
Oh wow. Okay. So this is as good as live as we can get Adam Macera live is this right here. So you're doing all your recording at your home.
Yep.
Are you now? We're gonna hear. I've already heard a little bit of the music we're gonna hear tonight. I know that we're gonna be hearing. You're known as a guitar player, but what else are you? Where else are we hearing you on these songs tonight?
You'll be hearing a lot of vocals, which I apologize in advance for. You'll be hearing some bass and piano and some programmed drums. It's the best I can do.
Well, I've heard you sing many times, and you have nothing to apologize, sir. You're a great singer, and we're in for a treat. Well, we're going to dive into it again. If you are listening, if you're in the Zoom call with us, you're getting one level of audio. If you're watching it live on YouTube, you're getting sort of a second level of audio. And I know what we've done with all of our shows is we will make this content available without all the interference of Zoom and a live feed where you can hear Adam's songs for really how he recorded them. So Adam, is there a place where we can find your music maybe after this show's done tonight?
Absolutely. I'll be releasing all the new music you hear tonight on Spotify this month in June. So I'll let you know the dates when that come out.
All right. Well, let's get into it. I'm gonna get into our first track here, and please enjoy out there. This first song, let me see where my playlist is. Candy Hill. It happened to fall first. I'm gonna admit it was alphabetically at the top, but it was the one I kept listening to first, and I was like, man, this is a great opening track. So I chose it as our first track tonight. So we're gonna dive into it and then let Adam maybe ask or answer a few questions about it here in a second. So here we go. We got Candy Hill by Adam Macera.
Can't you see? memories. Hearing the words I spoke on Candy Hill, there's no better place to just stand still all alone. What a fire, burning slow, hearing the words I spoke. It's just the mill turning playfully without a thrill. Can't you see? Real or fake memories, hearing the words I spoke on Candy Hill. I bought a ticket for a one-way to France.
All right. That was Candy Hill by Adam Macera. That was great, man.
Yeah, that song was really about um, more or less like trying to capture like a nostalgic feeling without, you know, having like a preface it for it. So like more of like just trying to make you feel like a memory that you didn't really have or something like that, I guess.
All right.
I don't know. Yeah, but I wanted to have like a visual for it. So it was like Candy Hill. So like what goes on at Candy Hill, nobody talks, but you can hear this mill turning and you can, you know, just kind of relax there, which is the whole kind of theme of the song, which is why the verses are more relaxed and the choruses are kind of almost uncomfortable a little bit. Like there's some weird bass parts in there that I put just to kind of put it like so you're not necessarily comfortable, but you're just like kind of in there to like experience it either way, I guess. That's a really complicated way of putting it, but yeah.
No, it's very cool. The what you described it as a memory that's not yours that you kind of come upon. I guess I don't know. It's just it's the nostalgia is definitely baked in. You're creating that sort of feel. Sounds like you're using. There's an effect that's definitely on like the main guitar part that always makes me think of like nostalgic for songs. Like I think Zeppelin has used that a little bit. What is that effect?
I think the one you're talking about is would be just a hell of a lot of chorus.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
just
almost like a
crank up.
vibrato, right?
Yeah,
It's so expanded. Yeah.
that
Um,
it's yeah, basically.
yeah, that's I have a affinity. I love if you're going to use chorus, it's got to almost sound. It's got to be a more abstract chorus than like the '80s kind of sweet chorus. Very nice. Well, let's keep moving along. I'm going to jump down to Floral Tension. That's going to be the next track I play, which that was actually the first one of the set that downloaded. And so it was the first one I listened to. And yeah, let's get in. Do you want to set this one up for us?
I mean, I wrote it 2 days ago, so
Okay.
that's pretty much it.
All right. This is brand new. This is Floral Tension.
Yeah.
Adam Macera.
You're falling starlight, dances off the graves. The city stays there, it's been painted black for days. The kids of April, late to hear the news. You know they mean well, the coding's not their goose. Kids say I really want to know what's next. Heart's got a cold and aching lust for mess. You're falling starlight, dances off the graves. The city stays there, it's been painted black for days. The kids of April, late to hear the news. You know they mean well, the coding's not their goose. Kids say I really want to know what's next. Heart's got a cold and aching lust for mess.
That was something else, man.
Thank you.
So the middle of that is it just gets super heavy, and I think that's what really kind of drew me to that song. But with hearing it a second listen, there's a lot of dissonance in that A section, that first section, and I was trying to listen to the lyrics a little bit more. Is that right? Is that like a good observation that you were kind of going for like a distressful kind of feel there?
Yeah, pretty much. I switched, I think from A minor to A major during the end, and that happens. That kind of that like dissonance kind of happens a couple times throughout the song. Like in that one vocal melody part after the first verse, kind of like the hook part, it goes. The ending note is like a major note, while the whole melody is like a minor melody.
It's very cool. There's a technique. I think it's a Picardy third, where you're pretty much in minor the whole song, and in the very last chord, you have this very lovely major third in there. Yeah, you're definitely capturing a lot. There's a lot of emotion, and that's usually the hardest thing for me to on a first few listens to really get the lyrics of a song and get the meaning. So,
Mhm.
what's going on in the story here with this one?
The lyrics department is more focused around the political climate of just like exactly right now, to be honest. Because like I could maybe have to go back to my notes for the lyrics. Um,
You're about as familiar with this song as we are. If you wrote it yesterday, so you know.
yeah, pretty much. um, Actually, I don't think. Oh wait, yeah, I did. Okay. Your falling starlight dances off their graves. The city stays there, it's been painted black for days. The kids of April are late to judge the news. You know they mean well, but golden ate their goose. So that's strange lines, but basically what I'm trying to say is like, you know, in light of George Floyd and his passing, your falling starlight dances off their graves of other people who has kind of suffered the same thing. The city stays there, been painted black for days.
Hmm.
So I mean, we've kind of had, we're all kind of uniting together to stand for this man, which I think is admirable. And the next one is the kids of April are late to judge the news, which is like, kind of more of the perspective of like young kids or people that aren't really aware or familiar of it or don't really know how to think about it. They're late to judge the news. And so they mean well, but golden ate their goose. And I just said that because like, you know, the golden goose like laying eggs
Yeah,
thing.
that's good stuff, man. Yeah,
Thanks.
you're gonna have to teach me a thing or two about writing lyrics. That's I'm glad you were able to express yourself, because this is certainly, as an artist, it's when you're it's hard, like how do you represent how you feel about these, the climate, as you said, is that we're in. And it's a great outlet, and it's a healing outlet, not just for yourself, but to just to hear songs like that. Yeah, that's great, man. So thank you for that.
Definitely.
So I want to jump into. I'm gonna go with I think I don't think I've listened to this one yet. I held off listening to it because of the title. I was like, I want to react to this one. So we're gonna listen to this next one. I think
Wait,
I'm
is
just
it
gonna. What's
okay?
that?
I think I know
Which
I
one
got
do you think? Okay, you know which one I'm gonna choose.
yeah.
I think I'm gonna leave my camera on for this one because I'm just curious. I want to see what my reaction is. No, I don't think anybody needs to see that. But so this next track is called "Leprechauns Aren't Real." So give it up. Here we go. Leprechauns aren't real.
The ground meets slowly with the board meets. Ready, take my shirt once more. God knows all that I have to show. Reset. We got that weakness. Troubles on my ocean floor. can't laugh anymore. I don't wanna turn them into. I just wanna show them the truth and set them on portray. Whether it's me or the play. Do you see me? You're the conscience of the head. What did you say? What did you say? Do you see me? You're the conscience of the head. What did you say? What did you say? Vengeful, liar from a distance. Goddess is my shoulders up. I'm dead, what you misunderstand. Lately, something's been with me. From dinners under candles, warm. Time's up, what can I say? I'm bored. I don't wanna turn them into. I just wanna show them the truth and set them on portray. Whether it's me or the play. I've watched your will turn into hatred, but your mind is far from one gate to the kingdom. Why so worried when your God is yet to come? Deserving maybe by the conscience you alter when you are done for. Now I'd rather show you something you can feel it. So you see it's what you wanted. Coming
All right, you're gonna have to show me how you did that. That I'm gonna brag on you just a little bit more. The first time I met Adam, or just saw you, I don't even think I met you. I was walking through the outlet mall, and I was trying to wrangle a bunch of other Rock Academy people who were milling around, and I come around, I hear like shredding, like straight up, and I'm like, that's weird for a mall to play like really heavy shredding. I dug it. I was like, you just don't hear that in like mall music. And it's getting louder, and I come around the corner, and there's Adam sitting there with his guitar and his dog, just ripping. I think you were just taking like a solo by yourself. You were just kind of like, all right, sitting here. And I just kind of, I was just like, okay, I have something to do now, but I've got to come back and recruit this young man. And actually, I don't even think I recruited you. I don't even know how you kind of ended up back at Rock Academy, but it was like, oh, that's the guy from the mall that is Shredder. So yeah, your guitar playing is always impressed. I think those of us who hear you do it, because it's you're definitely tapping into a style that I think of as like really kind of came out of the 80s, like, which is the shred guitarist, and really has gone to like crazy lengths. So who are you listening to? Like what made you so interested? Because I know that's hours and hours of practice. So who kind of set you up to want to do that?
To make that solo? So like
just to play guitar like that, to kind of explore the guitar in that fashion.
Honestly, probably Herman Lee from Dragon Force. He's a lot more melodic, but he plays super fast and he shreds a bunch. I also take lots of inspiration from Kirk Hammett, because although he does shred fast too, he's more technical a little bit, which is what I like about him. So with my music, I try to kind of combine every part of it that I like about it. Like Herman Lee, there's always, and with Tool, there's lots of whammy involved. So that's the part that I liked, using that high whammy pedal to get those weird bumps in the middle of my solo there, and then just like take from like other shredding that I've heard. But I'm more interested in like forming it more to the rhythm guitar than I was before, because like that's just way more powerful when you hear a change in both the rhythm and lead guitar. Like the lead guitar kind of leads up to something that makes the rhythm guitar change in an interesting way. So that's kind of where I take from that.
It's really neat. You're using one of the techniques that I've always loved, which is harmonized shredding guitar. So it's more in jazz and like big band, they call it a soli. We have a whole section like the saxophones who play this whole solo, and that's just like finding that in again, it was like 80s, like really really shreddy 80s stuff, where like Annihilator, that was a band that I remember. I had one cassette tape of Annihilator, and they just had a ton of that. Like they just wrote beautiful guitar things, and and it was fast. It was just it's just incredible. And really, I'd like to hear, knowing how difficult it is to play like that, but to compose like that. And that was a real treat hearing your use of the whammy. That was definitely. I haven't heard you do that much in Rock Academy. You're going to have to bring that effect and start incorporating it a bit. Yeah. Well, let's move on. I want to get to at least one more, but I think we're going to do two more. So I know which one that you recommended we play at the end, but I want to give you a chance. Is there something else you want to hear before we play that last one?
Probably. Gotta look.
What about Radio Song? That was one that.
Yeah, that one's different.
Let's do that one, because that one is definitely in a different vein. I think it kind of shows at least the different styles of music you're playing at here. It's very cool. All right, so is it Radio Song or is it spelled wrong? Is it song?
Oh, I spelled it wrong.
Okay, cool, awesome. I assume I do that all the time, so I was like, yeah, okay, then everybody does that. All right, cool. So this is Radio Song by Anna Macera.
It might be overrated, it might be all for sure, but I'll try my best to tell you everything I know. Love goes up and I don't know where, 'cause if I love this maniac, what's for screaming what I love. Don't you stand there and watch me, honey, that's not fair. I wanna feel I don't know it. It's always all or nothing. No night was ever new. Watching a hero boy, insomniac, counting cards, a heart of black, but no one ever knew. Shifting plans will shake me, and still I can't see blue. Thinking scary thoughts, break countertops, the music stops, but I'm still watching everything I do. Sun goes up, and I don't know it. 'Cause if our love is maniac, they don't know what's for, screaming what I love. Don't you stand there and watch me, honey, that's not fair. I wanna feel like someone cares when the sun goes up and I don't know it. I wanna feel like someone cares when the sun goes up and I don't know it. 'Cause if our love is maniac, they don't know what's for, screaming what I love. Don't you stand there and watch me, honey, that's not fair. I wanna feel like someone cares when the sun goes up and I don't know it.
All right. Yeah, like just kind of comes out of nowhere. I mean, I mean, it's a dance track, man. You're writing dance music. It's great.
Yeah. Yeah, I was happy that day.
What's that kind of shift from, what we kind of think of as the really what's happening in the kick drum is the big difference there, right? That 4 on the floor. What's the draw to that, using that kind of groove versus more of a, rock beat or something?
I guess probably switching from, you mean like in the song instead of like using like rock drums or like.
Well, just like you've got that kick drum just pulsing on every beat, when you do those drops versus every like a drummer maybe just putting it on 1 or putting it on 1 and 3. And so I don't know, yeah, if that was intentional in any way.
Yeah, no, I feel like it kind of like makes it like kind of clash more, like I guess like the word is like pulsate or something. But it also like it makes it comes together. I feel like it makes the hits right afterwards leading into the verse kind of stand out a little bit more, because that's the first time that it like changes. It's just tight hits, so it's like it catches your attention in a way.
Yeah, it's very cool. Well, there's again, this is only about half of what I'm looking at least in my playlist. I just want to let everybody out there know, like, Adam has got this. I mean, if this is an album or if this is a bunch of, I don't know what you intend to do with this music, but I would encourage you to get it out there because there's a lot more really, really amazing things here. So I'll keep everybody that is tied into Rock Academy on, kind of your radar as far as when you're releasing stuff, and we will help you get it out there. We got one more for you. I think you said this one's an instrumental, and I listened to this one. I only got to listen to the first part of this one. Anything you want to say about this one?
Oh yeah, it has a lot of solos.
All right. So if you like shredding guitars, this is a song you're going to check out.
Definitely. It's just a little bit long though. That's the only thing.
Oh, we love it. Those of us who like prog and if you're a Metallica fan, 5 minutes is standard, right? Yeah. So we're gonna cut off after this song is over. And so if anybody has any questions, I'm gonna leave the chat on YouTube going, and in the Zoom meeting as well. So if you want to send a question, I'll actually bring Adam back and we'll ask him some questions. But if not, we're gonna thank him for his time. Adam, this has been great. And again, I hope everybody gets to hear the rest of this music like I've gotten, and like just having it here is just really cool. I look forward to really sitting and getting to listen to it. Yeah, go ahead.
I forgot to mention one thing. The leprechaun isn't real one. That's the name's completely unrelated, by the way. But it's actually about like the point of view of like Ted Bundy in a way, and just like kind of like a serial killer kind of point of view. Like the lyrics were like something like, if I can't, I want to turn them into, or no, like, I don't want to turn them into, I just want to show them the truth, whether it's me or the blade. So, so there's that one, and then there's like in the chorus, it's, do you see me? God of conscience wants to hang me. Wouldn't you say no? Wouldn't you say no? Which is like a kind of like a, he knows he's, doing wrong, but he still wants your, like, your say that you would help him even though he knows he's not right.
Getting some of the heads of some deep stuff here. Yeah. So a lot of, yeah. Well, this is great. I mean, like, I think songwriters go in a lot of different directions, and it sounds like you're kind of stretching out. My co-host is joining me back there. He's ruining an amplifier. Yeah, Adam, this is great. And again, we're going to have more of Adam's music available. Hopefully, if he doesn't release it himself, we'll start, doing some Rock Academy. Maybe we can encourage him to play some of it live, because it's really cool. Adam, thanks for being here. Thanks for agreeing to do this. Hopefully this will encourage some of our other creative Rock Academy members to bring their music, have a place to play it. And yeah, any last words or any advice for people like yourself who are trying to create music and maybe aren't able to play with their friends as much as we'd like to?
Absolutely. Yeah, I mean, this has been fun. For advice for just people trying to play music, probably like just try to keep your head as clear as possible, and like it's really like about like my first song that I did took like a whole year to write, and the next one took like 2. So that's not really a good way to work. And I find that after I've been, it's in some cases, what is it, quality over quantity. But it's good to like experiment and just try out as many things as possible, so that way you can try to find something interesting and something unique for that. So I always try to add like some time signature or some key change that makes it sound a little bit more interesting, at least to me. But that's just musically, that's what I like to hear. But yeah, that's all.
Yeah, it's great advice. Just work and jump into it. I think I've heard that a few times from some of my mentors. Like, just do it. Just get to it. The only way to be a writer is to write.
Exactly.
The way to be a composer is to compose. And so, well, I appreciate you putting in that time, because it's definitely paying off. And I know this is just the beginning of what you're going to be doing. And so I look forward to hearing more from you. Thanks again. We're going to leave everybody tonight with a song called Potato Peeler. So all you guitar shredders, definitely, I wanted to double down on what Adam said before. If you're not listening to this, I've got my earbuds ready to go as soon as I stop talking, because if you're not listening to this with headphones, you're really missing a lot of the subtleties I think that are in Adam's music, and the panning and just the use of that sort of scope that you can do with headphones. So, take a second, throw your headphones on, This is Potato Peeler by Adam Macera. And thanks for being here, Adam. And we'll see everybody next week.